Greetings, Commanders. Alright, I'm back here in the beta. Today I'm going to take a look at the changes they've made to trade data. They've made more trade data available in the game, and we'll take a look at some of that. It's a bit of a confusing system, but I'll try to explain it as best I can based on what I've been able to figure out. Obviously there's no manual on this. I've just had to look at it and try to figure out how it works myself. And yeah, it has, well, it's better than what we had. So let's take a quick look. Trade data is now being displayed and made available to a certain extent in the galaxy map. And the way that works is, well, I shouldn't have that on. The way that works is we now have some stuff here in the filters section of the galaxy map that will show us trade-related data. So one of the things that it has is this new thing called trending trade routes, right down here. So if I say show trade routes, I now get this beautiful rainbow display. This exists in the current version too, but they've expanded it now. So what we're seeing here is pretty. It's very pretty. Make a great screensaver. It's not exactly readable to me, but best I can understand, each one of these lines indicates a trade route for a particular type of commodity. You can see that there's filters down here for them. So if I turn off all of them except metals, for example, that might make it a little clearer. Okay, so now we can see trade routes for metals. This one appears to be going that way, that way. This one appears to be going this way, this way. So I think these are directional. I think. Yeah, I'm not absolutely certain of that, but I think it means that this one's importing, to Word, and this one's exporting from Word or weird, or however you say that. I've heard it both ways. And you also have the ability here to filter it by commercial, which means basically NPCs, or commanders, which is players, other players. So since this is the beta, and since I'm here, I can see a few places that other commanders have been doing trades, apparently. Now that's kind of interesting, I guess. You could say, well, I wonder what metals they're bringing, and then you could go and investigate that, and if you see, I don't know, I guess if you see a lot of people are trading there, it might be interesting to you if you're a trader. I am not. I have to preface all of this. I'm not a big trader. Even though I'm elite in trading on both my accounts, most of that was from missions and things. So I have done some trading, but it's been pretty casual. I'm more of a casual trader. If I see something good, I'll take it, or if I'm bored, I'll go up on the web and search for a trade route near where I am. So I'm trying to decide if I can still do that here with this, or is this more for dedicated guys? Now none of this is going to show up for stuff you haven't bought either been there or bought the data. Now let me kind of show how that is. So if I select here trade data, so if I select here trade data, it now shows me this, although they appear to be reversed. This one says I have no data available according to this red, but obviously I do since I'm docked here. And in fact, all of these that are cyan, I guess it is, I don't have trade data. Now when I say trade data, even though it says trade data up here, what it actually means is trending trade data. So it's the data about what trends are going on. It does not mean actual prices. A lot of people are confused about that. They think that if you buy this, that you get all the prices. You don't. You don't get any prices unless you land there. So I could now buy this bulk buy trade data to there. Bink. Now I have trade data to there, and you can see that a new one showed up here. Like there's a trend going that way. So metals are being traded over to bulk. Let's turn all of these back on so we can see them all light up. It's a little more clear when there's more of them. What happens? Okay, so here's I boot this. I mean, it shows me some there, but it says that I don't have the trending trade data there. So if I buy it, it now changes a little bit. If there's something over here that I really never been there, I wonder if I can buy it from that far away. Yeah, I can. So that one should now light up with some roots, but it doesn't. So there's nobody going there. No one goes there. At least no commanders. If I have this on all, then there probably will be some. Yeah, okay. So you can go through and you can buy trending trade data, and you can see how it hooks up. It hooks up some trade routes, and you can get an idea of what kind of trading goes on there. But that's all. It's just an indicator that there is trading in those particular commodities, and that's all. So it's a very general thing, but it's kind of cool. You know, you can sort of get an idea of what sort of trading is going on in the area in which you currently are docked. Yes, a lot of it, nothing. So some of them don't have anything. All right, so that's part one, trending trade data. Then there's part two of all of this. Let's get rid of these because they're confusing right now. Instead of trade data, you can also go to this guy, commodity, and you can look at a specific commodity. So you've got all of your commodity types: chemicals, consumer items, legal drugs, foods, etc. And then underneath each one, there is a list of those, whatever they are. So explosives, you know, is one of the things. So let's say that I wanted consumer items, so I would go here, consumer items, and then, I don't know, consumer technology, let's say. No, that's not a good choice because I don't have, well, yes it is actually. Alright, so I'm here at Word. This is where I'm currently docked. According to this, there are places that the blue means that they import it, means they buy it. Even though it says import-export price, and that's confusing. I mean, are you importing it from there? Are you exporting it to there? It probably would be better if it said buys and sells, but I've looked at it enough now. I know that when it says import, it means it buys the stuff, and when it says export, it means it sells the stuff. So I can look here at Iran, and I can see that Bordage Works will apparently pay $71.40 approximately, and I can go through each of the places in that system and see what their price is to buy that stuff. I can go here to this one and do something similar. Now this one actually says that it exports it for $64.40. That's what it says, even though it doesn't show up here in green. Like this is not green, but it does say it is there. Wow, and this one exports it for nothing. Wow, you can make infinite money by buying it from there. Right, the big problem I have with this display and all of this stuff is that obviously part of it is because it only shows here, like I guess your biggest port. I don't know. I mean, why doesn't it show why isn't it both? If I can actually get it from there. Plus, I mean, this is probably a bug. It probably shouldn't show this at all. It doesn't show me if they actually have any. It doesn't show me how many they have, if they do have any. So it's not all that useful. You can find out that they might have it, and you can go there and see if they do have it, but you'll have to actually fly over there to find out. Alright, now this little button on the end is kind of amusing. See how that icon shows up there? This is compare in commodities market. So if we click this on, we get this icon here, and that means that I am now comparing the commodity market. You can't see anything on the map here about it. You have to actually go to the commodity market to see this. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out. Okay, so now it says here, import profit from Kuo City, because that was what I chose there. And it shows me consumer technology that I can make 270 credits approximately by going there and buying it. Now, it still doesn't tell me if they actually have any or how many they have. I still have to go there and find out. I have done this in a few situations and found that they actually did not have it. So there's still bugs in here. This one says that I can, if I go to Kuo City. Now it says if I go to Kuo City, according to this, I can make a profit 6,720 credits per ton. That's what it says, right? So let's actually go to Kuo City and find out, can we really make that kind of money? Because that's pretty good. 6,720 a ton, yeah, I would do that. All right, so let's find out. Let's go over to Kuo City. Wherever the heck that was, over there in Owlin. Oh, all right. Well, Kuo City happens to be an outpost, which means I can't land there in my T10. So we'll switch ships because I want to find out if this is true. We'll switch ships and we'll go there to Kuo City and see if we can actually buy that stuff at that kind of a price. I'll be right back. All right, so I switched to the Chieftain. And I came over here to Kuo City. So let's now look and see. Ah, excellent. There is in fact no commodity market here at all. So there you go. It was totally a lie. You can't buy anything here. No commodity market. So why did it show me that there was a big profit here? All right, so there's bugs in the system. But let's assume that it worked and it actually showed you your profits for this system. That might be useful, you know. At least it's in the game. It falls far, far short of what you can do on third-party sites, however. For example, one of the things I often do is try to find a commodity. Like I'm doing a source and return mission. It wants me to find power generators or whatever. I can go up on the web and search for all the places near me within a specific thing. I can say, find me all the places within 50 light years that have large landing pads that are closer than 4,000 light seconds from the star, that have this allegiance, that have this power, that have whatever. I can do all those things and I can sort them when I'm done and compare them. None of that can you do here. You can only see stuff, trade data for places that you have personally docked at. Now, it'll be interesting to go back. Now that I've docked here, we'll go back and see if it still shows me a profit, a false profit. A false profit. Oh, that's, yeah, okay. Anyway, it's a pun. And yeah, so I kind of lost my train of thought because of false profit. Anyway, the system is there. I mean, I commend them for putting stuff into the game. No, it's not complete, and probably not as useful, but it is something at least. If you're a dedicated trader, you might be able to have some fun with this because you can spend a bunch of time going to all the local systems that are interesting to you, you know, the place where you hang out the most. I don't have a place like that. I don't hang out anywhere. I move around. I like to go different places. I will stick in a place for a little while. The longest I ever stick in any place is when I'm like grinding rep for a cutter or something. I've spent a long time in one system for that, but not normally. So let's see, now that we're here, actually we can probably find this out the other way. So if I go here and I say compare the commodity there, well of course there's no commodity. There's no commodity market here. Okay, so I don't know. See, now this is still telling me, while I'm sitting here in Kuo City, where there is no commodity market, that they exported for this price. Which they don't. And it's wrong anyway. I mean, that was the profit it showed me before. Now it's telling me it's the price. All right, so, yeah, regardless, there's bugs. There's some bugs. Now, it does have some filters on here. Show only markets with large landing pads. Hide planetary. I mean, they did think about this. And they've got short-range markets. Markets at all ranges. I don't know why there's three. Oh, medium. Medium. Yeah. But even though I've got this set to all ranges, note, I'll have to change this. Here's Shinrar to Desra, where I have definitely docked. In fact, I have ships stored there. But what it will tell me, commodity prices are only available for systems in which you have docked. Well, I've docked there. I've definitely docked there. But it doesn't have data. Now, that might just be a beta thing, you know, that eventually all places where you've been will show up. But right now they don't. Right now they don't. It's only in here. That's probably a beta thing, but it's wrong. So I'll have to bug report it. And now that I've done that, my map is stuck. Oh, there. Okay. There was lag or something. All right. Well, anyway. So that's my rather confusing. I find the system confusing, so I'm sorry if it was a bit too confusing of an explanation, but it kind of is confusing. And it's a bit clunky, and it's certainly incomplete. But it is progress, so I will give them a plus sign for that. They're making progress. They're trying to give traders something, so that is good. I mean, that's a good thing. Hopefully they'll improve it and make it faster, and maybe they'll make it wider range or some way that other commanders can contribute so that it's not just you having to travel to every single system. But whatever. So that's my brief overview of the current system that they're putting in. It does have some promise, and it's better than nothing. But it certainly has a ways to go before it approaches the usefulness of the third-party sites. Perhaps it never will. I don't know. All right, hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll have something a little bit more exciting to show.